one, and it's showtime. Good morning and welcome to the Marissa Pitts Show, streaming live every Friday at 11 a.m. PST. Thank you for tuning in. We have a great episode today on Mouthful. We have Cory Axtell. He is a singer, aka cover girl, from Punk Band CRIMETIME out of Washington to talk about their new single, Self-Hatred. All right, well, it is time for showtime. Welcome to Pitts Bits with Marissa Pitts. All right, let's have some fun today. 3, 2, 1. 'Tis the season for celebrity book memoirs. We have 3 that just dropped recently. Come on up here. We have Patrick Stewart, Making It So, Jada Pinkett Smith with Worthy, and Britney Spears, The Woman in Me. Whoop, whoop, whoop. For all of the ones out of the 3 that I personally would love to check out and look at, my gossip side is all about the Britney Spears. I want to know what's going on, the conservatorship, what was happening with her. It looks juicy. It is narrated by Michelle Williams. She brings a little groundedness to the book. If you haven't heard any clips from her, it comes across a lot. The words come across very mature and grounded, which I find an interesting dichotomy. I really wish it would have been Britney's voice in there. I can understand her not wanting to and step away, but I would have loved to have heard the narration from Britney's actual voice. I think it would have been stronger and more impactful on here. Patrick Stewart, how could you not want to hear about his life from his humble beginnings coming up in the industry and all the hard work he's done? That one for me is a must get for my intellectual self because I have to get it. And then finally you have your Jada Pinkett Smith where personally I'm going to be okay on that book. I know it's a bestseller. People are loving it. They're digging it. All 3 are on the bestseller list. But for me personally, I kind of feel like I know a lot about Jada's life because of her Red Table Talk. She dishes everything on there. Her and Will love to be in the media. They love to talk about their life or what's happening together. Not together. Entanglements, right? So I don't know how much more in her, book is she exposing. She does talk a lot about Tupac, how that was her soulmate. And, even though they did not have a sexual relationship, that they were in past lives together. I am all here, though, for Jada Pinkett Smith's memes that are everywhere. I think this one to me, it's cold. It's cold. It wouldn't surprise me if we come to find out there is a little bit more depth into her and Tupac's relationship on here. So for that one, I think I'll do a pass on her book, but definitely going to grab me the narration from Britney Spears and a hard copy of Patrick Stewart because that one I feel needs to be in my library. But moving on here, we do have... Madame Tussauds has some wax figures that are currently under fire for their lack of melanin. We have here, The Rock was just released on here. As you can see, he's a lighter shade. Not by like too much, but enough where I would have been like, this homeboy is white, not native Hawaiian at all. Even his nose features seem like a little different on here. And look, it's a wax figure. You can't expect it to always be great. But there was a girl showing the painting. It was some white lady from, England or whatever. And I was like, yeah, there needed to be somebody in this room to help make sure like the shade was right. Because right now The Rock is getting clowned. He has asked for it to be redone and re-looked at and have more of a likeness with him. But you think maybe this is a one-off. Look, they just had the coloring wrong, bad lighting, who knows. But that's actually not the case because it has happened before with our Lil Wayne. Like, I don't know who they were copying, but that is not Lil Wayne. Okay, that might be Lil Wayne's, like, I don't know, kid, right? Or something. But first off, they made him quite a lot of shades too light, like quite a lot. And they also tried to make him cute. Like, with a Lil Wayne, he ugly. Like, it's cool. It's okay to embrace the ugliness. It is not a big deal, right? Like, we all know he's got banging music, right? I would love to party with him. You know what I mean? I dig like his style. He's a little out there, right? But like,
don't make somebody cute if they're not. It's okay. It's okay to embrace. We all have our different, variations of cute. But even Wayne came back because it was circling the news, and he goes, "Sorry, Wax Museum, but that shit ain't me. You tried though, and I appreciate the effort." So yes, even little Wayne is clowning. They need to go in. If there's anywhere up here that needs to hire a diversity member, it is definitely Madame Tussauds Wax Museum. When they create this, because they do get white people pretty well. They get their features pretty, sometimes they're off. Once again, you're like, don't really see it, but it's a wax figure. You have your imagination. But that one needs to have happen. And talking about having into some comments when we're going into some hip hop here. So I don't know if anybody remembers back in 2001, there was a viral meme going around saying like, what would you do? Would you have lunch with Jay-Z, a billionaire, and pick his brain for whatever you need? Or would you take $500,000? So all these celebrities, all of these people were like, oh, for sure, lunch with Jay-Z. This guy is amazing. He came up from nothing. He's Rock Nation, right? All the stuff on here. And he just sat down, Jay-Z sat down with CBS this morning. And to finally settle the question, lunch with him or $500,000. And one thing I absolutely love about this is he was like, look, I wouldn't cut you a bad deal. Take the $500,000. Go buy some albums. Listen to the albums. It's all there. So he specifically is keeping it real. That's what I love about him, right? So he's like, you're broke. Okay, you can't pay your bills. $500,000, if invested correctly, right, can set you up for the rest of your life coming in, if invested correctly. Don't go crazy. You can go on that little cruise ship, which I'll be doing next month, but you want to make sure you take that chunk and invest it, right? You get a financial advisor. Lunch with Jay-Z would be awesome, but how is that going to turn around and flip my money unless he gives me an opportunity? He didn't say lunch with Jay-Z and an opportunity. He just said lunch with Jay-Z. I can have lunch with anybody. All right, that's not a problem. Give me the $500,000. I love that he's keeping it real. He's like, look, do not pass up an opportunity for that kind of cash. And talking about keeping it real, somebody was dipping into different realities this week. It's actually kind of scary. Luckily, nothing crazy happened, but you did have an Alaskan Airlines pilot decided to try magic mushrooms for the first time ever, and then get on a plane. Luckily, he was not getting on the plane to actually fly it, but I think if you're still tripping balls and it's your first time, you probably shouldn't go to your workplace. Just saying. You probably shouldn't get behind a cockpit with the controls. I don't know, sit in the back like a cab, put a hood over your head. Don't even tell them who you are if you got to get back home, right? Because during the trip, there are 83,000 miles up in the air, right? He all of a sudden, the shrooms re-kicking, I guess. I don't know. He said it was 48 hours ago. I'm calling shenanigans bullshit. I'm going to say he took it probably 4 hours before the trip because all of a sudden he goes into a bad trip. He thinks he's in a dream. To get out of the dream, he actually flips the switch of the fuel, cutting off the fuel. He knows in his head that this will stop the plane. So in his it'll stop my dream. Luckily, there were 2 pilots on there. They were able to turn it back on right away and subdue him. They had to restrain him, hold him down. The guy was completely bad trip. Now, I have taken a lot of mushrooms. I have not had a bad trip like that. So I don't know if his shrooms were laced with something. It sounds more like an acid trip to me, if anything. I do know people do have very intense experiences on mushrooms, but something to the point where you have to be physically restrained and not go. Those are not good mushrooms. It's a bad trip. So please, everybody, if you're going to do those magic mushrooms, do not get on a plane. Right? Do not go anywhere. Just hang out in the little forest, hang out in nature. That's what they're meant for. Don't go into society. And luckily, 83 people did not lose their life that day. And he is facing 83 federal counts of attempted murder, along with other state charges. So his nightmare has just started. Talking about nightmare, what would you do if the Mexican cartel was coming after you? Yes. So if anybody doesn't know about Peso Pluma, he's a Mexican star coming up right now. There were banners all over Tijuana this month saying, homeboy, you flap your lips, right? You disrespect and loose tongue is actually what it was. And that they're going to kill you the next time that you are on stage. Those of you who don't know who Peso Pluma is, he just performed on the MTV VMA Awards. Amazing. I dig his style. I love it. He turns Mexican folk into something that's new and creative. He's number one bestseller. His single is number one on the charts right now, not bestseller. Sorry, but he's amazing. But he literally has taken them legit and real, and he has canceled his tour. Yes, canceled the U.S. tour. He was supposed to go to San Diego this last weekend. Canceled. Milwaukee, canceled. I'm like, Milwaukee is not even anywhere near Mexico. And he was like, I don't care. It starts with an M. I am not having it. But yeah, so I have no idea how he's going to rectify the situation, how much money he's going to have to pay or what. But this homeboy is living on borrowed time. Do not go up and start talking about any cartel. I don't care what cartel you're talking about, right? But you're from Mexico. You know they do not play around. Anyway, I hope he can figure it out and has a team working and paying and making sure, because I do think his music is phenomenal. And I hope to see him back up on tour. But that is your Pitts Bits for the week. Stay tuned. There is more on the Marissa Pitts Show. And don't forget to love, like, and subscribe. And see you in a few.
All right, what else? I'm just like rolling. I'm just like recording, rolling. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Marissa Pitts Show. This is Mouthful. Our guest today is Cory Axtell. He is the cover girl singer from Punk Band CRIMETIME out of Washington. We have their newest single that just dropped in August, Self-Hatred. And let's go ahead and bring you in. Yay! Can you hear me, Cory?
I can, yeah.
Yes, awesome. Hello. Thank you so much for coming on today. I appreciate it.
Oh, yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so I know right now you have your motif on the CRIMETIME. It's one of the things that I absolutely love. I actually have their shirt. Let me see if you can see their shirt, because I love them. So there's his hamburger right here. So where did you guys come up with the idea of not just like the name of CRIMETIME, but like our little hamburger? Because I love him. Where'd you come up with it?
That would be all Nate's doing. Our drummer, he drew that up and did that. I don't know whether it's just because he likes hamburgers that much, or
which I can see.
But he came up with fun. And then the whole thing with CRIMETIME was it was a project that they were doing just for fun up there.
Okay.
And they ended up asking me to sing, but the name came from. Have you ever seen Super Troopers?
Yeah, of course I have.
Yeah, they're getting ready to bust the truck or whatever, and he's like,
yeah,
time for CRIMETIME. That's where we stole that from.
I love that. I do know that I've seen online people are actually getting tattooed with the hamburger and CRIMETIME, and you've done a few yourself on people. Do you have a CRIMETIME tattoo?
Everybody in CRIMETIME's got a CRIMETIME tattoo.
I love it. What is your CRIMETIME guy holding?
I don't have a guy. I just have a CT.
Oh, okay.
I have CT.
Oh, okay. So I saw online there was somebody had gotten. Did you say Nate had tattooed it?
The one that you posted, yeah, Nate tattooed that.
Okay, because you're a tattoo artist. Nate's a tattoo artist, right? And is anybody else in the band a tattoo artist, Brian or Aaron?
No.
Okay.
No,
when did you? They're just what?
Normal dudes and normal jobs.
Normal dudes, normal jobs. Don't be so normal, right? When did you get into tattooing? Because you're a professional tattoo artist, right? So when did you get into it?
Oh, man. I've been obsessed with tattooing since I was a little kid. I was just always obsessed with it. So I started tattooing super young out in Hemet. And then, yeah, I've just been tattooing ever since. I've been tattooing probably now 17 years.
Okay. Wow. That's a long time. Well, how old are you when you got your first tattoo?
I started tattooing on myself when I was like 13.
Did you do your first tattoo?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did
okay.
I did a JFA tattoo.
A JFA? Oh, no way.
Yeah.
What'd you do, on your leg?
Yep. Yeah.
Okay. I think like everybody who tattoos themselves starts on their leg.
Yeah, I just I don't know. I saw a show on, it was like on convicts, you know, and they're showing how they make little tattoo machines, and I was like, fuck that, dude. And I went in my room, I broke my stereo, and then like 3-4 days later tried to finally figure out how it all worked, you know.
Yeah.
And
did your tattoo move? Did it move? Because you were 13. You've grown since then. No,
it's still there. It's all the same spot.
It's same spot. Okay, because I got my first tattoo when I was 12, and it was like on the bottom of my hip, and like I grew, so now it's like, first off, it's double the size, and it's like my whole side of my abdomen.
Yeah, no, mine's still the same spot, really. You know.
So you didn't get any taller. You just stayed short.
Stayed the same size. Legs are the same size.
Oh, that's pretty funny. See, maybe if you got on your belly, it would have grown too. Well, I mean, obviously you have face tattoos, right? And I've been watching an interview you have, and I know people always ask you about your face tattoos. So I don't want to necessarily go there. But what was your first face tattoo?
Shit, I don't know. What do I got? Oh yeah, yep. Anchor was my first one, and then I think I got my camel after that.
Okay.
I think. But yeah, I haven't gotten one in a long time.
Okay. Yeah, I almost got a face tattoo and didn't. I'm glad I didn't. Like, I have to say, it's one of those moments in my life where I'm like, I'm actually really glad I didn't do face tattoo, because it was gonna happen. It was gonna be some weird, and it wasn't even a good idea. It was like gonna be stars and some constant. It was gonna be horrible.
Like some.
It would have been horrible. The reason why I like bringing up the tattoos is pretty funny. So I came across, did I upload it? I did. Okay, so this is this guy on TikTok, right? So he's blowing up right now. I don't know if you can see, he obviously has the face tattoos, right? But in the, you see this like Grim Reaper holding this old grandpa? Yeah. Well, I guess this is that's a troll that was commenting. He's a gay artist on here, and they were trolling him. So he did some crazy research and found out his grandpa just died and tattooed his grandpa's portrait.
That's fucking hilarious. Holy
awesome. Shit. I guess like another story, he has like a restraining order. Some guy, another troll, he tracked down that his ex-girlfriend put a restraining order against him, and he got the restraining order tattooed on his back. I am all here for it. I don't think I would go to those extremes if somebody was hating me online, but I love it. I think that's like the funniest thing in the world, and he is blowing up right now. Would you ever, if you had somebody that was just talking shit about Crime Time, what would you do? Would you ignore them? Would you get them tattooed? Like would you clown them back? Like, what would you do, Cory?
For the most part, I don't even pay attention. I don't even really get on social media besides tattooing. I don't with any of the Crime Time stuff at all, so I never see it. They'll tell me every now and then. People tell me shit, and I'm like, oh, that's funny, you know. But for me, I kind of like it, dude. It's like without it, what else? What's the point? Like, you know.
Yeah.
If I
totally do.
Even if everybody liked you, it'd be like, well, this is fucking boring. Like,
it's cool. And I don't think everybody can like you. I think no matter what, someone's gonna hate you. Someone's gonna want to put you down. Someone's gonna talk shit, right? I think it's just. I mean, humans are kind of horrible people, to be honest.
That's just how it goes. But
okay, what tattoo have you ever gotten? Because this is a tattoo that I always swore I would never get. Have you ever gotten a tattoo of an ex-girlfriend or anything?
Oh yeah.
Oh, what did you do after you broke up?
Left it.
Just left it? You didn't try to cover it up?
It's just there.
It's just there.
I got it.
My dad got
I don't remember what all I even have tattooed on my own body, so it's not like it was for me something that was like, oh, I can't. You know, like that's got to go. They just all blend into one now. It's like, all right, I forget half the shit I even got tattooed on me.
That's pretty funny. And one girl is also like any other girl. All right, well, let's go back into your music. Because the reason why I brought you on was not talk about your tattoos, but I came across that this morning, so I had to jump on it. But you have 2 albums out right now, and you have a new single that just dropped in August. Congratulations!
Yeah.
I want to kind of take a step back and talk about your first album that in 2021 that you released, Let There Be Crime. And you have a music video that we're going to play, Freedom Club. And I do notice that when within the lyrics inside themselves, there's a line that says, there's a free thinking man is a threat to society, the computer wars, and forced vaccination, right? So I feel like even though this was back in 2021, it's only 2 years in, we're starting to see such a huge issue with the AI. SAG-AFTRA is on strike, right? Writers are on strike. You have people who are trying to sell art that was AI generated, right? That wasn't their own art. So the actual artists are coming back and being like, whoa, that's my art. Like, you can't take that. Mm-hmm. Where do you see us going with being an artist? Because not only are you a singer with bands, but you're a tattoo artist. Like, where do you see us going with trying to navigate AI within our field?
I think that's where everybody's kind of sitting at the moment, because whether it is writing, I mean, AI will write you a song. Mm-hmm. And it'll also make your tattoo day very easy if you use it, you know, if you don't hand draw. And so I think there's going to be people that use it. There's always people like that. And there's always people that are going to stick their heels into the dirt and still hand draw, still hand write mm-hmm. things. And so I think it sucks in that sense that, yeah, you're going to like, you know, lose money or whatever else you could possibly think of art tattoo wise, you know what I mean? To people that use that, but at the same time, some of us are still doing that handmade mm-hmm. thing, you know?
Would you ever use AI to write a song?
No, not to write a song. I think they're too, like, for me, especially when it comes to writing, it's like this like process. Mm-hmm. And, I don't sit down and write songs to be like, oh, I'm going to write a good song. I just whatever comes out. You know what I mean? Half the time I'll show it to the guys and they're the ones that are like, oh, keep it. It's good. And I'm like, I hate it. I don't like it at all. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's cool. You guys have a good collaborative, you know, process. Because I've seen that a lot of your songs are written within your band too. Like this one's written by Brian that we're going to play. Other one's written by you. You have input from Nate and Aaron. And I like seeing that within bands. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a better creative process when you can get input and be open to input.
Yeah. Well, that's how it works. That's what makes it a band, you know?
Yeah. And not just a solo.
All right. A group activity, then don't be in a band.
Ain't that the truth, right? All right, well, this is Freedom Club from the first LP, Let There Be Crime from Crime Time.
Explosions of truth that missing the bigger picture. To get one thing we must sacrifice another. There's blood on your hands, you have change the shape of your face. Industrial society, it's future. Industrial society, it's future. Industrial society, it's future. Industrial society, here's your letter. Bomb.
All right, and that was Freedom Cloud. This up from Crime Time off of their very first album, Let There Be Crime. And if you like what you're listening to, please take a moment to love, like, and subscribe at the Marissa Pitts Show. All right, Cory. So I know one reason I love so much about Crime Time is it's raw, it's gritty, it feels very now and in the moment, which I always love when I listen to some good punk rock. It comes across as almost timeless, right? Things that are happening at that time, we still continue to see throughout the years. But one thing I noticed in your new album or your new single, Self-Hatred, was it came across a lot more personal and intimate, if that makes any sense. In like, as far as the connection, right? I felt like when this was coming together and I'm listening to it, like I felt like you were singing like directly to me, and a lot of your lyrics resonated within me with that song. Where are you going with Self-Hatred, right? Because it's a different vibe than the last two albums you've had.
Yeah, it has a definitely different feeling to it. I don't know. It's just like I said. It's just one of those things where when it comes up, like I write. That's what I do, even if I wasn't in bands or any of that. I sit and write a lot. I don't know why. It's like a nervous habit for me. And just like smoking cigarettes. That's what I do. I sit down and I doodle on napkins and I smoke cigarettes and I write down words. And so, yeah, I mean, that one just kind of came up and out. The Parasites EP we did was all out of poetry. Like, it was all this poetry that I'd been writing. And we're like, yeah, we're all from bands. We're used to having silly songs, funny shit, fucking off, doing whatever, right? Having fun.
Yeah.
So I was like terrified to release anything that I had written that was like more personal. I was like, fuck. And then I was like, but that's the whole reason you got to do it too. Is like, at the end of the day, you're a person. And if you're going to sing to people, then you should probably have the same exact feelings. You know what I mean? And like, in that sense of like, I had to convince myself not to be fucking weird to put it out. Like, no, dude, that's normal shit. Like, not everybody wakes up in a good mood every day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think that's why I loved it so much too, is, because I suffer, I have moments and days where I'm depressed or my anxiety kicks in really bad. I try to be happy. I try to just go forward. Right? I got a daughter, trying to be there for her. And then there's just moments where I just want to give up. Yeah. Right. And not go forward. And you have this line in here that really made me stop and like think to myself. And it goes, a self-made hell with the key in my pocket, suffer the torment. I never learned to unlock it. What does that mean for you?
That for me is that same exact feeling of being stuck in your head. Or like for me, like I go to the doctors and talk about my fucking problems, right? And they give me medication, but then I'm like, fuck that, I don't take medication. So then I've lived this entire life of knowing like, whether it's abusing drugs or alcohol or anything else. And so anybody that knows me knows I'm 100% sober or I'm 100% off the fucking rails. Like, no middle ground. So like, you're fucking not doing anything to make yourself better, but you're almost fighting with yourself purposefully to do it. And you're keeping yourself in that shit, because I feel like when you deal with depression too, that's a lot of it. And a lot of people don't want to admit to that. Same reason why you get sad, you start listening to sad songs. It's like, you're not changing the
True.
fucking radio to a happy song, dude. You feel better fucking wallowing in your shit, and you love it.
Yeah, I feel like it's very cathartic to have music that reflects back what's happening inside, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think that's one reason why I love, punk rock so much in that sense. And I always laugh when people talk about, like, we were talking briefly about this, about it being like a scene or a look. And I always just like, to me, was never punk rock. Like, to me, I feel angry inside. Like, I feel like there is a fire inside of me consuming me that I'm trying to always contain and tamp and not let go. And it was when Dead Kennedys was the first punk rock, band I heard. And all of a sudden I was like, what I couldn't put into words, it was in those songs.
Yeah.
And I felt seen and heard, right, in that sense. Like I felt that someone actually knew me. And obviously, Jello Biafra has never met me. I've seen him play many times, but it wasn't that. It was that feeling of connection that I think we all look for artists. And one thing that really irritates me, within our scene and as an artist, is when you hear people put bands down for not wanting to make a living on their art. Like, you have to be poor. You have to play only backyard gigs, right? And to me, like, it frustrates me because here you guys are like a band that I would want to go worldwide and have that message and be able to connect with people. Like, your music connects with me.
Yeah.
What do you feel when people tell you that you're not being punk because you're playing a big gig?
Tight. Cool.
You gonna get them tattooed on you?
Yeah. Just tattoo that shit right across my knuckles, dude. Not punk.
Not punk. Read it.
NOTT. Spelled wrong.
That's pretty funny. That's actually like really funny. Because I feel like, being able to just enjoy the music and have a living off it, I think is really important, right? And having a way to express yourself.
At the end of the day, it's music. And anytime I hear any kind of genre or any artist get put down, it's like, change the fucking radio station then. Mm-hmm. Change the fucking channel.
Yeah, literally, right?
Worse. Like, I think that's why I don't really deal with social media too much either, because I'm like, this is embarrassing. Like, I'm embarrassed for you. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? You see some people just go off on things, and you're like, wow, man. If you don't like fucking green beans, you don't eat them, dude. Like, we're not going on grocery outlets fucking website like, how dare you sell green beans, you fucking asshole.
No green beans ever.
Ban the green beans.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Fucking.
I do.
Whatever, dude. Yeah. If it's not punk, whatever. I mean, most people, without those bands getting any kind of recognition, wouldn't even know what the genre was. Mm-hmm. So
it's very true.
You can knock it all you want.
Very true.
Anytime you hang out long enough with people and they start bringing up the bands that got them into punk and they have that same attitude, it's like, that's really weird, dude.
Weird, you know those bands then.
It's really weird. You're going to hate people for liking that same shit, but that got you into it, so.
Exactly. Well, I want to definitely play while we still have time. This is Self-Hatred, your newest single that just dropped this August. So tune in. It is definitely a banger.
Cash in my check, you're paying for my gas. Second,
Try on my sunglasses. Whoa, that looks awesome. You know how cool you look right now? You look like the devil. Here. Smoke one of my cigarettes. Put one of those in your mouth.
So I have to play the ending of that song because that like threw me off.
It's so funny though.
So great. Why did you leave it on there? Because I love it. Why did you leave it on there?
All right, so this is called in this band we call this Secret Time, and so now it's Secret Time. There used to be a show on Comedy Central called Whitest Kids You Know, and they did like all these funny ass skits. There was this one where like the little kid goes into the room, finds a handgun, points it at the dad. It's like the anti-gun commercials.
Yeah.
And the dad's like, "God, you look so cool. You look like the devil." He like puts his sunglasses on, puts a cigarette in this kid's mouth, and he's holding the gun. I'll
You gotta send it to me. I gotta see this.
It's so funny, dude. But he says, "Oh man, you look like the devil." So when we did the first record, we were up in Seattle recording that record, and Brian, I was like, "Good." Like we were doing a couple takes, and I was like, "Good, good." And he's like, "You sound like the devil." And so then every time now, anytime somebody nails their part in the studio, it's like we don't say good job, dude. We're just like, "You sound like the devil." Like the inside, like it's like the inside thing with that. So I was telling Chris, who did this record from Zoe Media, that story. And then when he sent it, I didn't hear it the first 2 times.
Oh.
And then finally one day it was playing, and I heard it, and I was like, "Oh, he put that on," because I told him the story, and I was like, "That fucking guy, dude. Like, that's so that." I don't think he was actually going to keep it, but they kept it. And I was like, "That's hilarious."
I'm
dude.
so glad you kept it because it really was like, I got to find out why. What was happening? What was happening? What is going on? Thank you for your secret time.
Yeah.
You sound like the devil.
Like the devil.
Oh, that's the best. I love that. I know you just got back from Rebellion overseas. I am also back in August too. So you had a very, very, very busy August. How was that? 'Cause that was the first time you toured out in Europe, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Did you do just the UK
Yeah,
or did you do Europe?
Yeah, we did just UK.
Okay. And how was that?
We can
How was that for
afford to
you?
go any longer. It was awesome. Man, that place is cool. Scotland, especially Scotland, is a trip.
Yeah.
It was it's definitely weird checking it all out, you know.
Did you find what difference did you see between like UK punk and West Coast American punk?
I felt like I was probably like one of the youngest people at Rebellion. Like over there, if you're a punk rocker, you're a punk rocker.
Yeah.
I definitely saw a lot of people that really support it. Where over here, unfortunately, you do have a lot more fighting arguments when it's like we like the same exact shit,
Yeah.
you know. But and that's not to say like that's everywhere over here. It's just that was the difference I noticed. Is like everybody was like really interested in meeting each other.
Yeah, I got that same feeling when I was out there. I was like, oh, this is actually a community. Like, it's not just like, oh, this is I'm from Riverside, I'm from LA, and I'm from Orange. And it was like, oh no, this is a community. It didn't matter where I went in the UK. But I was like, it was always welcoming. It was like, oh, okay, you're into punk rock, so am I. Cool. There was something to talk about and have a drink over, right? Or, you know.
Yeah. And it was a little bit of everything too, which was cool. It's not like just the like individual groups, you know, like you know, like what you'd have with like your rock and roll punk rock or, you know, like it's like over there. Yeah, cool, dude. I like Dead Boys and I like Discharge.
Yeah.
Like, what's up, dude?
That's what I loved about too. I noticed that their range of music, they were okay saying that they like something else that wasn't punk rock. Like it was okay. It was like, oh, I can like other things. Where I felt, you know, when I was getting into punk rock, like I've always embraced all music. So I really never gave a shit. But I do know people who did. And they would like hide that. They used to listen to like Green Day or something weird where I'm like, why would you hide something that you liked and enjoyed? Just because somebody says it's no longer cool anymore. I don't know. It was always so weird to me. But I do have that you have a tour coming, or not a tour, but you're playing in the Atlanta 40 Fest, correct? In Georgia, Atlanta?
Yes.
So, and then I saw that they had said it was the first time they're bringing in a Northwest punk band. So, congratulations on that
Is
one.
it? Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know
Yeah,
that.
you're
That's
popping their cherry,
awesome.
baby. You popping that cherry.
Yeah. That's cool. I didn't know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't really deal with any of the crime time stuff. So, like, I kind of, those dudes, they text me and they're like, here's where you're at. I mean, even last week, it was like, you got to show the 7th and the 8th in Seattle. You got your plane ticket booked? I'm like,
I do now, right? As you're like on the phone booking the plane ticket.
yeah, booking the plane ticket. Okay, yeah, I guess I'm going to be there then. So, it'll be cool, though. I'm excited.
So is that your show coming up right now in Seattle?
We have 7th and 8th. I'm not sure. I think it's Portland or Seattle, somewhere up there. And then there's 2. So there's the 7th and the 8th. And then I'm up there this next week tattooing as well. So it's kind of just back and forth.
Yeah.
Traveling.
You guys need to come down and play in LA so I can come see you. You need to make it happen.
Definitely. We want to for sure. I've always loved everything about LA, going to shows to LA and all that. So
yeah.
It's one of those things where it takes time, It's like you kind of get your band out there in like one area and then you go other places and you're non-existent.
Yeah.
So you got to put in the work,
That is very true. Like with everything, right? And where can our listeners find Crime Time on your socials? Since you don't go on socials, do you know them?
I know they have everything. There's like Spotify and Instagram.
They are.
And all that. It's usually just Crime Time Official.
Yep, Crime Time Official. You'll find them. If you just put in Crime Time, it will be a TV show that pops up. So make sure, put Crime Time Band or Crime Time Official. And you're all very easily found. Please definitely everybody follow, love them, download their music. They're on Apple, Spotify, all your major music platforms, and definitely buy from them. Bandcamp, buy directly from them. They have a website, Crime Time Official, so that you can always get that. And if you loved what you heard today, please love, like, and subscribe to the Marissa Pitts Show also. And Cory, Mr. Cover Girl, which I always love. I love saying that because like on your website it says Cover Girl.
You ready? You ready for secret time?
I did.
That's the nickname because my eyelids are tattooed. Easy breezy, baby.
All right. Well, and if you guys want to get a tattoo from Cory, you're out in San Diego right now, correct?
Yeah, right now I'm at North Park Tattoo. Let's see, November I'm in Vancouver, Washington at New Ink till from the 2nd to the 10th. Then I'll be at Thornburg Tattoo in Redmond, Oregon. I will be at Boomerang Tattoo in Pitt, Idaho. And then I'll be back here and everywhere else I decide to go to.
Nice. You can definitely find Cory. He does have an Instagram. Okay. Yeah. So you can. Axtell Tattoos. You can go ahead, like, and follow him. He's an amazing artist, not only with tattoos, but also with your band. So, Cory, thank you once again for coming on. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Thank you for having me.
All right. I'll talk to you later.
Have a good day. I'll see you later.
Thanks, Jared. Peace.
Know your future with Mystic Marissa. 3, 2, 1.
Well, welcome to Mystic Marissa, where you get a glimpse into next week's astrological future so you can plan your calendar or avoid going out, depending on what you want to do. But first, please love, like, and subscribe if you like what you're listening to here on the Marissa Pitts Show. So, pretty much do it preteens up. I've been fascinated with astrology. I got the baby book when I was pregnant too, like for when my kid could be born. And I was very specific. She was not allowed to be born on the 1st or the 4th. Had to be the 3rd. Luckily she was, but I was a little neurotic about it. So it's one of those things that I really enjoy looking into, and I hope to pass on some of this joy also to you when you're trying to plan your week. So anyway, as we talked about on here, we do have a lunar eclipse tomorrow night. So go outside, get your little candles, write down your wish, what you want to happen, what change you want to see, and burn it. Make sure you burn the wish. You got to burn the wish. It's like a thing. I don't know. You just burn the wishes. You can't have them around. Okay. Let that smoke go up. So definitely plan. Where do you want to go coming up? 2023 was rough for me. Things I thought were going to happen didn't. especially when it came to like, I was on a talk show before, spent 4 years on, and that didn't go the way I thought it was going to. But a new opportunity opened up. I have my own talk show, and I'm actually loving it. I mean, yeah, there's a little rough and raw. I mean, raw is my style. I have to say, I mean, not raw on the bed, but raw on the show. But yeah, I've really been enjoying this process and building forward. So when one door closes, another one opens, right? And usually, hopefully, it's one that opens up in your favor. So if something hasn't changed in the last 2 weeks, you still have one more week where the eclipse is going to have an influence in your life. So plan on something changing, hopefully for the positive. If it is not for the positive, when things are done and laid out, hopefully you'll be able to pick yourself up out of those ashes and move forward, because change isn't always fun. I know of. We do have Mars is the planet of action, energy, and aggression. And it actually goes retrograde on the 30th. Yes, Monday before Halloween. So if you had Halloween plans, if you had all this stuff, it's going retrograde. It is also, it's in Gemini right now. Gemini is communication. It's about scheduling. And so you're going to have some issues. So please make sure double check where you're supposed to go. I don't know if you got kids where they're trick or treating, but you got definitely for the next, it stays in retrograde until January 12th. So for the entire holiday season, Mars is stopped. Okay, which means that a lot of things are going to stop for you. Good part is it's going to allow you to like think and take a breath, right? But plan on pretty much wallowing in shit and depression and anxiety. So whatever you can do to push yourself forward, meditating, taking your vitamins, eating healthy, surrounding yourself with a group of friends that you love, a family if you get along with them, right? Anybody that helps promote and put you up, and also sound-based ideas, right? Don't be afraid to share. If you want a new direction in life, share it, put it out to the universe, right? Just put that resume out. Who cares? You've been in the job forever, right? What if there's another opportunity? What do you want to do? When you see a planet in retrograde, that's what it's meant for. It's not meant to make your life hell, which it does, but it's actually meant for you to make it hell so that you actually will change for what you want. Go after your dreams, right? You're never too old to go after your dreams, as my dad always said, right? Just pick up your bootstraps and you just keep going. So definitely do that. Spend this time. And hopefully your 2023 will end off on a positive note so that 2024 can start off with a bang. All right. But also watch out for your financial situation coming up. The other thing that has Mars in a retrograde, it does look at money and finances. So start logging what you're spending, cut down on the extra BS that you don't need. You might not even realize you're spending as much if you're not tracking it. So I'm going to start tracking. I go to Starbucks way too often because I get up at 3:30 a.m. So I'm there way too often. So I'm going to figure out ways that I can pare down so that I'm able to go on my trips and enjoy life and, just do the fun stuff. But anyway, thank you so much for tuning in to the Marissa Pitts Show. Our guest today was Cory Axtell from Crime Time. With his new single, Self-Hatred. So please pick up music anywhere you have. Crime Time Official, definitely get them and have that in your library. You will not regret it. Next week's guest is Greg Sinman. He is the host of the Backcountry Vagabond. I'm actually excited to have him come on. I was digging his stuff on his podcast. He takes you out on these little adventures. Makes me want to go backpacking safely with a cabin close by that I can shower and sleep in. I'm not the biggest backpack countryer, but he makes it look fun. So we're going to pick his brain, how to get out there, how to have fun, how to do it safely, right? And also how to kind of launch your own show, right? So he knows so much information. So I'm very excited to have him on. So please, please, please tune in next Friday, 11 a.m. And if you like what you heard today, please love, like, and subscribe. All right. Until next time. Ciao. Mwah.
If you like what you heard today, make sure you like, love, and subscribe. We are on all the socials at Marissa Pitts Show. Till next time. Mwah. Ciao.